Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. MARIAM NAGUJJA, I'm the ladies' guide, your emotional wellness guide. Every Friday, bring you these things that money cannot buy, but which makes life worth living, your emotion. MARIAM NAGUJJA, the ladies' guide, is a channel where you find all this emotional wellness support, things that you go through, things that you don't have a particular kind of explanation, but which are actually affecting your productivity and love life. So we do this every Friday to remind you of the things you overlook, which you would pay attention to have a more fulfilling and happy life. So I'm a counseling psychologist, I'm a life coach, I'm a relationship coach, very passionate about human affairs that pertain love matters. I author three amazing books entitled the Ladies Guide series. Ladies Guide to Fulfilling Relationships and True Happiness, the Ladies Guide to Emotional Happiness, and the Ladies Guide Journal. All these three books are all tailor-made for any lady, for anyone who would want to live a more fulfilling love life by understanding these small basics for relating with the opposite sex. Where do you find these books? All bookshops in your area. In Uganda, Aristoc, Uganda Bookshop, Book Point, every district where you are, where there's a major bookshop, please find the book, Ladies Guide. Masaka, Mbara, Lila, Gulu, Mbale, all those areas, there must be a copy of the Ladies Guide book. Then, if you're in the diaspora, we have UAE, we have USA, and we have UK. We have different ambassadors, and in case you need the book in the diaspora, you just get to my inbox, and we find a way of connecting you to them to get the copy for yourself. So, just to remind you that life is physical, emotional, financial, social, and spiritual. Those are the dimensions of your life which are very important. That when you don't pay attention to those dimensions, they can actually affect your emotional wellness. This reminds you every day that you have to pay attention to those five dimensions to have a fulfilling and meaningful life. That's what the Ladies Guide channel is all about, to give you the two dimensions, actually three. We look at the physical dimension, we look at the emotional dimension, and we look at the social dimension of your life. And lastly, we shall end with the spiritual dimension of your life. Because when you take care of these other dimensions of life, the spiritual aspect of your life is well to go. And that's why we give you all this meaningful content. Uh, Previously, we had an introduction on emotional connection, and I promised you this week we shall be concluding the emotional connection series as a session to remind you that emotional well-being, emotionally healthy relationships first pay attention to the emotional connection. If you don't pay attention to your emotional connection, it is difficult to enjoy love as a feeling. So emotional connection, we define it as a feeling of alignment or intimacy between two people that goes beyond the physical and the intellectual compatibility. So when you are compatible with someone intellectually, and then you bond, you physically find the chemistry. If you do not pay attention to the third part of the love triangle called emotional connection, it may be a relationship, but it's not satisfying. We should note that not every relationship has emotional connection. Most of the relationships lack that alignment called emotional bonding, and they're also relating. However, if a relationship has that icing sugar of emotional connection, it even feels better when you are in love with your partner. If you missed, we talked about the three levels of romantic relationships: when you've just met, when you're falling in love, and when you're trying to build a relationship with someone. We go through the physical, which is the chemistry part. You look at somebody and you feed them, you get that chemistry. Then we go to the next level, which is the intellectual compatibility. You get compatible in shared thinking, shared vision, shared everything. But the most important part of it all is the emotional connection. Lack of emotional connection can take love to a road of dryness, because then somebody does not feel you, you do not feel them. And that is the reason for this topic called emotional connection. If you missed, we noted that without a strong emotional connection, the road to love is totally blocked. That's where someone says, I love you, and you don't feel them. That's where someone says, I love you, and you feel something is lacking from that word. That thing that is lacking in that word is what we call emotional connection. So, if you missed our last week's show, I request go to the channel, type in the search bar, Mariam NAGUJJA Emotional Connection. The video will be available to you to watch more of this, of what we talk about. And we also noted that we gave you some of the simple signs of emotional connection in relationship. How do you tell that you're emotionally connected to someone? How do you tell that you're emotionally connected to your partner? We said there is a strong friendship, there is a shared experience, they keep in touch daily. You always talk. You have some bit of instincts, even when you're at a distance. A lot we talked about. So just join the channel, search for the video, type just my name against what you're looking for, which is emotional connection. The video will be available to you, and don't forget to subscribe in case you're our new viewer, and also like as well as share with your friends and family, because sharing is caring. Don't swallow the content alone, okay? All this is given freely, so you share with your other friends to find useful meaning in what we're trying to teach you. And that's what we covered, I think, last week. Thank you for being part of this, and stick to the end to learn more about how to create this emotional connection. That's what we are covering today. How do we create that feeling where two people bond beyond the physical chemistry and beyond the intellectual compatibility? How do we create that? That's what you're going to look at today. But before we get started, I have a small announcement to make. The students of emotional intelligence, we are well to go, and we are really having a good time. People are waking up and they are having a very great alignment. A course which has helped them, which is helping them actually to realize that emotional issues in life is what affects our overall happiness. Emotional intelligence, like we said, is a course where you're going to learn that many things in life to blossom, your welfare, your everything comes from relating well with the people in your social circles. If you don't learn social intelligence and you don't learn how people reason and how to read them without a single word, because body language is one of the things that we are covering in the topic, emotional intelligence, there is a lot that goes missing. That's why many people are in problems in society, because they don't understand how to relate with the social animal called man. We study many things. We study everything. We become experts at everything, yet we ignore the people we live with as part of our environment in personal growth. So then, emotional intelligence is a course that is going to help you to realize that to find that inner bit of happiness comes from relating well with not only yourself, but with also the social aspect of life. So it goes in 4 ways and 4 elements. One is your self-awareness, and then also your self-control, then also social awareness and relationship management. Those are the 4 aspects that entail what we call emotional intelligence. If you're not yet part of us, please come to my inbox and we'll give you more of this information about emotional intelligence. The next announcement is we have come up with a new course which is called pre-marriage course, a course for couples which are engaged, wishing to marry, going to marry, about to say the word I do, because that road of commitment needs a lot of preparation, more than even when you're in, to avoid future sessions with counseling, future sessions with psychiatrists and psychologists trying to figure out where you went wrong. So we find it very useful as a channel or as a ladies' guide to prepare these couples, young or old, anyone who is willing to say I do and who is going to say I do, to give you these nitty-gritties of the marital life before you cross that road. So the intention of the course is to help the couples to, 1, clear ambiguity, 2, foster trust between the two of you, 3, iron out your differences upfront before you're into that partnership, and to create mutual goals, to manage your expectations in each other, because expectations destroy relationship, to foster your beliefs, and the belief system between the two people, and then to remove all the fears or what we call gamophobia, where somebody is about to commit and they're actually afraid to get into that commitment. So the pre-marriage course is going to be basically for couples who are crossing the line to what we call a commitment. So it's going to be your private guide to save all the years of waste in misinterpretation of each other, in disagreements when you get into a marital life. Because don't forget, when two people become one, then a lot has to be done on that word called one. That is what we are going to be doing for the end of year. So if you are a couple which is going to be engaged and you're on that road of love, please enroll in this course. It is going to be purely a 1 month course, and we are going to be taking you through a quick, preparation. Thank me later. Because when you get into the system called the marital life, many of the things you will be aware of it, because don't forget, awareness precedes change. You can't change what you don't know. So you cannot live with someone who you've met in love when you've not actually prepared for them to know what you're going to be doing in that partnership called marriage. So what makes a healthy marriage? We shall help you set life goals as a couple. We shall help you manage communication as a couple, and then getting out of the I word. Remember, you've been single, to we. We, not I. We are going to remove that word from your head. We shall manage your expectation, and then we shall even give you the recommended books as a couple you can read. Don't forget, relating is beautiful. Marrying is beautiful. But then working on the relationship, that's where the part called marriage gets a bit challenging. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Let's do a program with you called the pre-marriage course for the lovebirds who are getting to the system. And we are waiting for you. Thank you so much. And the numbers are on the screen. You can write to us in inbox, and then I'll give you the procedure on how to be part of the class and when the class is happening and what we require of you. Today, we are looking at emotional connection, the how. On the Ladies Guide channel, we not only teach you things, but we tell you how to do it. We don't just leave you hanging. When you come to this channel, you get everything in lump sum. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that now people come back and tell me, yes, Mariam, you helped me. I found an answer without even meeting me. That is where my life purpose gets very interesting. So if you go to the channel and you find information which even tells you the how, that's the most important thing. So when you come to this channel, you get the why, the how, when, which, what. All those 7 honest working men, the questions that you may be asking, you find them here. So we don't just give you something and we leave you hanging. Because this is more of give back to community. It is like philanthropy. I can't give out, too much. I can only give out my brain because that's all I'm blessed with. So then let's learn how you can create emotional connection between the loved one, between the husband and wife, between a boyfriend and a girlfriend, between a friend. But most importantly, we are talking about romantic relationships. Emotional connection, like we said, is that deep bond between two people. That deep bond, the point being the bond. Last week we said, until when you bond with anything, you are not yet relating with it. The point is what? Bonding. So many of us relate, but we've not bonded. Everything is just on the surface. I'm not feeling you, you're not feeling me, but then we're relating. What is that? You see, when it comes to love, it is either black or white. It's either a lie or truth. There's nothing like in between for love. No one should ever lie you. That's where everybody who tries to abuse love, in lying, you fall off. Someone will know you're lying because it does not allow for ambiguity. It's an emotion of clarity. It needs openness. So if you're relating, but then you're not bonding, there is a missing link. And I will feel it. He will feel it. That is the reason for today. So emotional connection is very important for the following reasons. One, it creates a sense of trust. When someone says, I love you, it means I trust you. When someone says, I trust you, they mean I love you. So you cannot love somebody you don't trust. And you cannot love somebody when you've not created that trust. So emotional connection is a vehicle towards the trust you want to build. It's impossible to love someone and you don't trust them. When I am with you and I'm not feeling safe, I don't trust you. That's not love. So emotional connection, one, creates trust. Number two, it allows for open communication. Haven't you been in a relationship where you can't even share anything because you don't feel there is open communication? Something is off, then you reserve yourself. Then it kills the other enjoyment of love. I mean, I don't know you. You're not communicating. How can I love you? What I don't know. So it fosters open communication where someone is even vulnerable to tell you anything without feeling judged or ashamed. But I can't share all my vulnerability to somebody when there is no open communication. So emotional connection creates that open link where everybody tells you everything. It fosters understanding of feelings to understand somebody. You will not understand your partner until when you're bonded. Because in bonding, you feel. In bonding, you relate. In bonding, you find yourself. And lastly, without emotional connection, you feel very distant and unsatisfied. That's where someone is saying, I love you, I don't use, but you don't even feel them because there's no bond. There's no need of rushing anything until when it has bonded. Don't rush anything. The bond is more important than the rush. That's why when you're in the morning of the relationship, foster more to bond than to even relate. Until when you bond, the relating part will be easy because all this will be taking place. Uh, let's look at some of the examples. Because as I'm talking about emotional bonding, emotional connection, I mean, someone may say, okay, what are the examples that we are bonding or we are connected? One of the examples is people who have emotional connection reach out to each other when there's a problem. When you have a problem, but you cannot share it with your partner, no chema leader. That's not emotional connection. Meaning, they're not part of you. So emotional connection is a situation where someone has a problem, but they can also reach out to help or to be helped because you're not even being ashamed. Number two, you celebrate each other's success without feeling envious. You're happy for each other. When someone gets a rise in life, if someone gets a promotion, you celebrate together. That is emotional connection. You trust each other's personal information separate. You tell them because you know they are safe with you. Nobody's going to gossip another. That's emotional connection. You share vulnerabilities, things that can actually shame you to tell people, you tell them. This one person, you tell them without feeling judged or condemned. That is emotional connection. Sharing forgiveness, you easily say sorry, you apologize. There's no friction. Something which has emotion, there is no friction. It is just grace. It is just everything moves smoothly. That is emotional connection. So everyone who has an emotional connection with you, even if the world is against them, you're with them. It's as if me and him against the world. Because you two people know each other better. Everyone doesn't know you apart from the two of you. So that's how we can define, in simple terms, the word emotional connection. But all that can only happen when you have a deeper bond with a partner. If you don't have a deeper bond, it's very difficult to enjoy all that kind of treatment. So let's dive into how to build it. How do we build that feeling called emotional connection? Emotional connection involves this band of feelings that we said that come together to create that bond. But then when it comes to creating it, we work on it. You can't come to me and you say, okay, we have connected, the chemistry is on, we are intellectually the same, then we have bonded. It can't work like that. Even like love, emotional connection takes some time. You search me, I search you. You study me, I study you. We look at our differences and then lastly we say, oh, I think we are compatible. So we should give time to that to take place. If you don't give time all that to take place, you miss out. You miss out a lot when it comes to the future happy relationships. That was said, uh, before we look at the simple ways, the 5 simple ways on how to connect in the relationship, proof by research, one of our partner has what they call Epsom salt. Like I told you, proof by research has a number of organic products purely made for your emotional wellness to ensure that your health is key. Because, like I told you, the foundation of a happy life is the physical dimension. When the body is physically healthy, the mental is healthy, the heart is healthy, then the relationships you have around you also become healthy, the financials become healthy, then the spiritual dimension also is key. So then, Prof by Research has these products, and I always tell you one by one every week to introduce you what they do. And in case you need them, you can visit the stores and pick one for yourself. So today we have what they call Epsom salt. Epsom salt has the following benefits: it's a body scrubber, it's a face exfoliator, liver and kidney detox. You can take it and detox your liver. It dissolves blood and kidney stones, which can affect your health also. You just get a cup of hot water, just take at leisure. That's what the salt does. If you want the salt, please go to our description section below, write to them or call them. You can have the salt. If you're interested in it, still you can go to their store. Just mention Mariam NAGUJJA, the ladies guide. You get 10% discount on every product you buy from Proof by Research. And always remember to get the discount as long as you're a student of ladies guide. It's called Epsom salt. How to build an emotional connection. We started. Number one, these are simple things that you know them. I'm just reminding you. Number one, mutual respect. Mutual respect. It's very important to note and to know that respect is part of relationship. Respect is part of a healthy relationship. Lack of respect or disrespect is against the rules of forming a relationship. When somebody feels disrespected, when someone feels underlooked, they can shun away from the relationship. They can ignore you. They can grow distant emotionally to relate with you because you've underlooked them. Don't forget that the need for respect is one of the psychological needs of a human nature. When somebody is relating with you, whether friendship, whether a romantic relationship, they are looking for somebody who can actually feel them as respected. So mutual respect, of course, goes hand in hand, but on the side of the male, it's even more needed. When the male needs you as a lover and then you don't respect, that's another story altogether. So in case you know how to respect in a relationship, I covered that video, I think, last year. Go to the channel in the search engine, type Mariam NAGUJJA respect. I showed you what it means to respect a partner. Because respect can actually be mistaken for abuse or someone feeling as if they are underlooked by giving another person respect. So we looked at it as a topic, and I request just to go to the channel and read more on how to respect your partner, especially the male, the husband, the boyfriend. Women need love, men need respect. So we need different things. Men don't need love. They don't need you to love them. They need you to respect them. To them, that is love. As simple as that. So go to the channel and watch that video where I said respect. And I talked the deep nitty gritties on the word respect. pertaining love matters. Number 2, the second way to bond, to create an emotional connection with a loved one, is being transparent. Being transparent. You see, lying, deceiving, faking, it is against the rules of love, I told you. People who are not transparent, people who are liars in love, find it hard to love or to be loved. So open communication fosters the other trust I'm talking about, because you can't trust somebody who is not transparent. If you are in a relationship but you're not transparent, it means you're lying either way. So to build this feeling of bonding, someone must feel safe with you. You must be open in communication. Share your feelings. Say what you feel. Don't be ashamed. Because when you keep quiet and I don't know, it means you're growing distant. You're keeping a secret away from me, yet we are loved ones. And of course, this goes with knowing somebody quite a long time. Don't overshare information with someone you barely know. Don't overshare much. This goes to only couples which have stayed for quite a period of time, where there is trust built between the two people. Otherwise, do not overshare someone you just met, that you're trying to be vulnerable to a stranger. That's the mistake many women make. So we request, be transparent in a relationship. It can foster trust. Then somebody can bond with you because you're open. They know you're an open book. They will trust you. That is where emotional connection comes from. Number 3, take an interest in each other's life. Take an interest in another's life. You see, when we meet people, when we relate, when we fall in love, when we marry, people are too selfish to even ask you who you are. You come to relate with me and even you know me. Haven't you met that? When someone doesn't even know what they love, they just meet you, they say, I love you. They have not even known who you are. They don't even know your second name, where you're coming from, what you believe in and what you don't believe, what you like and what you don't. They don't care. All they care about, I love you. That is a mess. It's a lie. Don't take up that. Everybody who is in love takes time to know who you are. Because when I know who you are, I give you what you want. And when you get what you want, you fall in love with me and you connect deeper because I've known what you want. Else, I'll give you what you don't need. So take interest in each other's life. Somebody knowing your ambitions, your goals, your interests, they have fallen in love with you. You can't relate with anything, be it an animal, until when you learn what it is. This reminds me when I got I got into this habit of keeping pets like a cat. When I bring a cat, I didn't know that I have to study cats. I didn't know. I thought you just bring a cat, give it food, and that's all. Oh, then I realized that there is a lot I didn't know. I had to go to Google to study cats, their behavior. What does it mean when they just food? I did a full course on cats. I knew dogs, but cats, it was out of this world. Why is it hiding? Why is it sleeping? Why? I had to know everything. Because you're bringing a pet in your home, you're bringing a life, you don't care to know what that life is all about, and you want to live with it. That is the danger. This reminds me of a book called The Jewish Phenomena, why the Jews are the richest in the whole continent, yet they have a small population of every country. And when I read that whole piece, they said one thing which I never forget. They know anything which is worth knowing. As long as you put a Jew in anything, they will find out. They don't just bring a cat in their house without knowing what cats are. Then here, we don't care. You fall in love with somebody, you don't know who they are, you just come to relate. I mean, people have different personalities. There are early risers, there are those who are late sleepers, there are those who don't work at lunchtime, there are those who work early in the morning, there are those who can't even work early in the morning, there are those who are very effective in midnight. Everybody has a different personality. You don't even know their dreams. Here I'm studying a cat. What about a human being? And you're relating with them. Be it a helper. Be it a helper at home. Get into a conversation. Know their history. Those girls in the houses have stories. And then you relate with them. You bring them in the house just to work without knowing who they are. And then they tarnish you. They waste your things, they disorganize you because you've not taken time to know this personality. So is a love relationship. So is a marriage. Do you know your partner? Do you know who you're relating with? If you don't know them, then what are you relating with? Love is not about sexual relations and the I love you word. There's more to that. So learn people first. Why are they behaving in a certain way? Everybody has a funny background. Some people are from mean families. Others are from spending families. And here you are in the same home. The background is more important than the present. And they will replay in your future. So understand and take interest in other people's life. When you meet somebody, know them. Ask them questions. What do they love? What do they do? What do they don't love? What can they stand? Someone says, me, I don't like a cat. And here I am saying, me, I'm a cat lover. We are two different people. How do you relate in one place? That is where you need to take interest in people's life. And that is the only way you're going to bond with somebody, when you understand who they are and their interests. As simple as that. Emotional bonding, just understand somebody's interests. Because when I started this cat, I lived with the cat in harmony. I knew everything. I knew when it's hungry. I knew when it's saying open the door. I knew when it is not. I knew when they have not given it food and it's telling me I have not eaten today. Because I'd done its language. And I found it very easy to live with. I knew when it's hungry. I knew when it doesn't want to, I knew when it wanted petting. It's an interesting kind of, But you cannot live with a human being without understanding them. That is where many people go wrong in relating. Number 4, be vulnerable. That one already said. Vulnerability means share that deeper thing you don't want to tell anyone. I mean, when you share your vulnerability, I also trust you. I cannot trust you when you've not shown the human side of you. Each one of us has that human side. Not everyone is perfect. We are all humans. There is that thing which you feel that you're vulnerable. But when you share with me, I say, okay, we are now all humans. That's what everyone is looking for in a relationship. But when you hide it, and then you're coming in the angle of love, I may not believe you. So if you want to emotionally bond with anybody, be vulnerable. Be like a child. Give stories. Tell them. People are willing to help. Everyone is willing to help you. But if you don't tell us what you need, I'll give you what you don't need. Or I'll think you're even doing better. And then we stay at that. Be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. Before we come to the last section, I need to remind you of Vigil. Vigil is a very important product. As you see this lady, it helps a woman deal with infection, bacterial infection, UTIs, bad odor, leaving your golden triangle very clean. Don't forget, a woman's second face is the other face. So if you care about this face and the other face is dirty, you're doing a disservice to yourself. So bacterial infections are so many and rampant nowadays, and this is the quickest solution on how to get fastest results. In only 3 days, you'll have results. Only 3 days, you will be clean and fresh. Don't forget, your cleanliness is part of beauty. Hygiene is part of beauty and very, very important. So Vigil is a product I've used for quite a long time, and I feel confident to share it to my students to know that it can help you deal with those infections. It is not a cheap product. No. I don't use cheap products because I know cheapness. I don't pay. It is quite costly, but it gives you results upfront, quickly, and then you stay fresh for the rest of your day. You'll feel mentally present even when you're meeting. You don't need to feel some funny itching, and then you're meeting. You lose concentration. So that is what they call Vigil. Do you need Vigil? Please write to us. We can deliver it or supply it to you as soon as possible. As we are in the last section, we are talking about how to create emotional connection in your relationships. This is most important. Number 5. In fact, it is the reason why many people fail to love. It's the reason many people are falling out of. Even they say love is hard because they're trying to give it what it doesn't need. The simplicity of life is to remind you that you don't need to do many things to be safe with love. Love doesn't wear much. You just need to follow the rules and do what you're supposed to do to get from you. So, number 5 is learn to surprise your partner. Surprises are love. Surprises are love. Some people think love you, I love you, I love you, the word. I don't like that word. People are using it wrongly. Because everybody has love. Everyone can tell you I love you. But few can have the saving action to support that word. If you let you know what I'm talking about, where a guy says, I love you, I love you, I love you, but there's no results. There's nothing to show. They are simply wasting the word. We don't want that waste. This goes to the guys. If you are mentioning the word I love you, don't put it out of your mouth if you don't have a saving action to support that word. Because the saving action fosters the word deeper emotional bonding into the mind of that woman. Otherwise, it is just a simple word. Just listen to the words, but they don't make any meaning. And this reminds ladies, don't be excited with that word, I love you. Anyone can say it, especially love bombers. They use a lot of that word. They've just met you. He doesn't even know who you are. He doesn't, I love you. What's that? The word I love you takes time. The guys who have love don't even mention it. It takes a lot of time for a man to mention that word because the word I love you means I'm going to take care of you. Your problems are my problems. We are one. I need to know you. Where do you stay? That word is entailing that word, that one word, I love you. So if you say it, it means you meaning the other things, all of them. So why do you have to throw those lines? And why does a lady needs to believe that word when someone is saying the word and they don't mean it? So emotional connection can only happen when there are surprises. And the last phase of the word I love you is gift giving. That is when it wraps it all. So I love you, no gifts. What is that? I love you, nothing is coming. What is that? I love you, I'm not seeing you. What is that? I love you, but I don't know where you stay. I don't know you. I mean, take care of yourself, but I love you. What is that? Meaning that it is enough saying. If someone says, I love you, but there is no saving action to that word, simply listen to the word, but throw it in the dustbin. Especially if it's a male saying it, because they can as well tell that word to everybody. Everybody who has love has the ability to give. Because I always remind you, giving is love in action. So don't listen to that word. If a man says, I love you, the next word is, don't even argue over that. If the is not coming, and I've said, those were jokers. It was a joker. Don't even argue. That one has no saving action. Love without action is dead. That word. Everything which has love, it has the ability to give. That's why that word should not be mentioned to everybody. It has to be special for a particular person because there is an exchange being made. So surprises include timely gifts. Gifts mean you're thoughtful. Picnics, it makes love enjoyable. But stop mentioning that word. The men, stop saying I love you when you don't have a saving action to support that word. It is nagging. It is not sweet to listen to. It leaves women in emotional confusion. You love me, but there is ambiguity. That's where every lady, the only thing I can say is that when someone says I love you, but there is no action to support that word blows, then until when there's action. Look at the actions first. Don't listen to the words. Talk is cheap. Anyone can talk, but few can act. Look at the actions. That's where the love word is. Because everyone is in love. It is easy to throw those lines. What does it take? So, the world is full of mean people. Few are givers. Generosity is love. So, few people are generous. And the generous ones are the ones who don't mention that word. Generous people don't mention the word I love. Romantic liars mention that word a lot because they tell it to every woman who comes their way. It is a cheap word to mention. So don't get excited, baby. I'll tell you some of the reasons why you need to share gifts. One, a gift says, I am here for peace. A gift says, I mean what I say. A gift says, I am thoughtful of you. A gift says, you're different from others because I can't spend it on everybody. A gift, a gift creates emotional bonding because it is memory of the one who gave it to you. Isn't that beautiful? So why don't people move love word to the next phase of development called a gift? So when a man says, I love you, listen to the words. Don't get excited and emotionally intertwined until when there is a gift phase. Don't listen to that word that I'm not a gift giver. I mean, we don't understand that. Don't take up that. Gift giving is key everywhere. Go to any palace, go anywhere, and then you don't carry a gift until you come to see a king. You are a user. So let not people use love. Don't abuse love. Love is give. So don't mention that word without giving. Stop it. Just say, I won't mention that word. If you're not giving and you say you're in love, what is that? It means you want to use anything which is of value. When somebody wants to take it for free, they want to abuse value. I repeat, if you want to take something of value, but then you don't want to give it what it requires, you're going to abuse value. They will abuse it. So no matter how much you give their love, no matter how much you give them love, when it has come on a silver platter of no gift giving, they are going to abuse you. They will never understand the value that comes with that word. That's why I say no to anybody who comes into my life, even if you're just a friend, when you don't carry a gift, you're a user. That's the rule. Which means they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to. They have come to value extract. To extract the value from you without losing anything. And that's theft. So then, the last part of emotional connection is learn to give gifts. Learn to surprise loved ones. That is the only way you're going to get into people's souls. Even if you're lying, at least somebody will feel they are safe with you. To be vulnerable, to trust you, to separate you among the many talkers and no action. It is called a gift giving stage. So, ladies, just watch him. Let him talk love, wait for the giving. The other gift giving is where the love gets sealed. Even if it's once, at least they met what they're saying. And it's what? Thoughtful. So as we summarize, we've looked at the 5 ways on how to create an emotional bond in your life, in your relationship. And if you follow those, there are many, but I just chose those 5, which are very meaningful. Most importantly, the gift giving stage. That one is where love gets sealed. Never go to somebody great without a gift. Never go to somebody who you want something as good, as sweet as relating in love, and you carry words. I always remind you, ladies, talk is cheap. Anyone can say it. So every time you hear, I love you, just say, Cancer told us, talk is cheap. Let's wait for the saving action. We call it saving action because it is going to support somebody's words to mean exactly what they're saying. So many men are using that word. I love you, I love you, I love you. And we should stop. Anybody who says I love you, there must be a savings action. That's where emotional connection comes from. And that's when you're going to be vulnerable to them. That's when you're going to trust them that you've actually found a friend. So join in next week as we're talking about emotional infidelity, cheating emotionally, where you're giving your heart, your soul, your dreams to somebody you're not actually committed to in a long-term relationship. Because I know after watching emotional infidelity, many couples are going to be saved or from making that mistake, and they know where to build their life and their future and who to build it with than sharing your lives with outsiders when the relationship is actually suffocated. Something you've worked for, but then you're giving it away to someone else. So emotional infidelity is next week. Join in, and of course, you'll learn more and more. Mariam NAGUJJA, I'm the ladies guide, your emotional wellness guide. Reminding you again, we have a pre-marriage course for all couples who want to say, I do. Join in next week. Bye-bye.